This is Next Steps for Seniors with your host, Wendy Jones. Each week, Wendy brings resources and information to help guide you through those next steps with elderly parents and loved ones. You can follow, subscribe, and share on your favorite podcast platform. If you have questions or topic suggestions for Wendy, you can call us at 248-651-5010 or email at hello@nextstepsforseniors.com.
Hello and welcome to Next Steps for Seniors, Conversations on Aging. I'm your host, Wendy Jones, and our topic today is decluttering for an organized move. And yes, it is actually possible to declutter and to be organized. And in the studio today with me, I have Avery Abraham. Hi, Avery. How are you today?
Hello, I'm doing great.
And he's got this great pink shirt on that says Pink Zebra Moving Company.
And on the back it says,
I make moving fun. He had to turn around so I could read it for everybody. And then I also have Kara in here, Desmond, she is the founder of Utterly Uncluttered. Love your name, by the way.
Thanks, Wendy.
Both Kara and Utterly Uncluttered.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. One of them I came up with myself. The other one, I did not.
So grateful to have you here in the studio, both of you today. And, moving it's a huge topic for everybody, but especially as we age, because we kind of accumulate, don't we?
Oh, yeah. It's easy to do.
I don't know about you guys, but my basement is packed.
Well, I mean, it's pretty common. We acquire things. We don't look at them, especially when they go into the basement. It's kind of where things just go to exist for a really long time.
Like the black hole downstairs.
The black hole, yep.
And then if you haven't gone down, what's the rule on that? If you haven't looked at it in so many years, you just throw the whole box out, right?
I mean, you might as well, but it's easier said than done.
Maybe that's my husband's philosophy.
Yeah.
So let's just talk about the importance of having a good move, because so many things can go wrong fast. Like you're ready to move and nobody shows up to deliver.
Yes.
You've had that happen, haven't you?
Happens frequently. That is a lot of our calls. Hey, our movers never showed up. And typically said a little bit more stressed out than that. But yeah, it can be very stressful.
So our goal today is really to talk our listeners through what is the best way to do this. And to me, it seems like planning, right, is the best thing. Mm-hmm. So talk to us a little bit, Kara, about what you do, what your process looks like when it comes to the planning component.
Sure. So usually when somebody's reaching out to us, it's because they know they're moving sometime soon and they need help with decluttering and getting a handle on the amount of stuff that they have, because maybe they've been living in their same house for the last 30 years and things have accumulated. They've been saving things from their kids. They've been saving things for their kids and haven't really taken a lot of time to go through and make decisions on what they want to actually keep versus what to get rid of. On the flip side of that, there's also a lot of emotional component tied into that, and it's really hard to revisit a lot of old memories and make decisions on them, especially when everything feels important. So we like to say start early if you know you're going to be moving soon, or even in the next year or two, to start the process early, because decluttering takes time, and it's easier to give yourself that lead time so you don't feel rushed on making decisions. And then, once you can get the process started, we can, move forward with next steps and figure out what that looks like in terms of packing up and getting into your new place in an organized manner.
So everybody's different, right? So I feel like when you say start in advance, are you saying like 6 months? Or are you saying like 6 weeks, or just whatever you need? Because I'm going to just tell you a story. I have a lady who knew she was moving for 4 months. Literally, the moving truck was there yesterday, okay, and she wants it to come back again. And I'm like, okay, we had 4 months. What are we doing?
It catches up really quickly. So it's very subjective to the person, and I always like to say, you know yourself the best. So if you know that you are somebody that's going to have a hard time making decisions, starting as early as 6 months to a year in advance is not a bad idea, because those decisions take time. We get calls all the time. I'm, trying to list my house next week. Can somebody come help, right? And so it depends on the time of year, but sometimes we're very busy and we can't get to somebody for a couple weeks and we have to plan in advance. So there's not only the amount of time it might take the client themselves, but also the amount of time it might take to get us out there to help them. So both things need to be taken into account. And we like to say we can help as much as we can with the amount of time frame somebody's giving us.
Yeah. And it always takes longer than you would think is what I would tell your listeners.
Keyword.
Yeah. Take the amount of time you think it's going to take, probably double it. Maybe triple it.
Yeah. Well, and the other advice I have, because I've moved quite a few times, is I have like 10 empty boxes just sitting in an area waiting after everything's gone, after I think everything's gone. Mm-hmm. And I usually end up filling like 7 of those with like, oh, I forgot this. Oh, how did I not pack this? And then all of a sudden it's like, holy cow, there's a whole nother truckload.
Absolutely. And always remembering that when you don't declutter before you move, it's just going to be decisions that you're putting off until after your move.
Yeah. And you're paying to move that.
Correct.
Essentially junk, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Why do we want to do that? So does your team, when you have a lot of things, do you do just explain what exactly you do to decide? Like, does the client have to say, okay, that's going to Goodwill, this I want to keep, this, because, we have elderly people.
Mm-hmm. It depends on what their goals are. So if a lot of times when we're dealing with decluttering decisions, we are pairing the client up with, as few as one organizer to as many as 4 or 5, depending on what the speed they want to move at is, and also the level of decision making they want. So we don't get rid of objects without the client's permission. Mm-hmm. So if you have a client that wants to work with us and make a decision one-on-one on every single item, it's going to take longer, but we are happy to do it. So we'll go through each item and say, okay, is this something that you're moving with you or keeping, or something that you want to get rid of? And then the decision is inherently, do you want to donate this? Do you want to pitch it? Is it
give it to your children?
Give it to your children, sell it, and we always like to say, because something that we hear all the time that really can slow down a process is, I'm saving this for my kids. And so we usually say, is this something that if you sent them a picture of right now, they could make a decision on?
Ooh, I like that.
And it helps, because a lot of times the kids say, I don't want that, get rid of it.
I know, but I'm just going to give, this is a word of wisdom,
Sure.
Not going to lie. So I've seen this happen once. I've seen it 1,000 times. And it's so important to the senior. Okay, let's say you're 85 years old. You've had some set of china your entire life, and you really, really want your daughter to have it. Well, guess what? Daughter doesn't use china. She's not even interested. I'm just going to tell everybody, this is my personal opinion. Just say yes. Okay, now, and I'm going to give you a story, a real story. And this woman was like, nope, don't want it, I don't want it, Mom, nope. I mean, caused so much friction. This poor mom at 85 just wanted the peace of mind knowing it was going to a good home, because it was so precious to her. Okay, so at this point, everyone, it's not about you. It's about the senior.
Sure.
I say age trumps everything. This is just me talking, but age trumps everything. So you say yes, and I don't care what you do with it after it comes to you. But the reality is you just want mom to know it's in a good, safe place. Now, I'm going to say one more thing. Because this particular person said no, they got rid of it. They gave it away. And guess who I talked to 5 years later? I wish I would have kept that china. It was so important to my mom. I miss my mom so much. I can't believe I was so adamant at the time. So I'm just saying, we don't want regrets. Mm-hmm. And you're making you're making fast decisions. Just take it. You can always get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I think it's a great piece of advice to everybody listening. It's also important to distinguish what's truly important versus what is, because sometimes what happens is everything becomes important. So we need to also figure out where that line is. Right.
And you help them with that.
Of course. Yes. We try. We try. It's hard, because when everything feels important, where do we draw a line of what's a family heirloom that you're trying to pass on?
Have you used this in the last, X amount of time? Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. This is good.
And I've heard it said, how does the idol make you feel? When you see it. I've heard it specifically with clothing, but when you look at this article of clothing, or even this piece of furniture, does it spark joy? And if it doesn't spark joy, it might be time to get rid of it.
So let me ask you this, Avery, Pink Zebra Moving Company. How far in advance do you need to book a move?
I like to say as soon as you know, and oftentimes you can actually work backwards, and it can be a little pressure to get you ready to move, right? You have to declutter, you have to pack, you have to do all those things before you move, and it can, oftentimes light that fire under your butt to get ready to move. So I like to say as soon as you know. Typically, our moving schedule, we're pretty book solid about 2 weeks out. So as a very practical thing, right? 2 weeks out of your move, you better be calling, a moving company, and any reputable moving company should be booked pretty solid about 2 weeks out.
Well, so a game I just played with someone that wasn't moving fast enough is I said, okay, so the moving truck's going to come next Thursday. So you've got 15 days, the dumpster's out front. So let's do so many hours a day, because if you know the day the movie, like you said, work backwards. Because otherwise, if you kind of keep it on the open and, I'm not really sure, then you just don't do it.
Yeah.
We all procrastinate.
Yes. And it takes a lot longer than you expect it to, right?
Every time.
It's just as much emotional as logistical. But at some point, right, the logistics come into play where, hey, I got this deadline. I got to be out of here. I got to sell this house. I got to move into wherever. And it can be, there's a lot that goes into moving and kind of deciding what you want to do with your things. And having a process is really the best way to go about it.
Okay, we're going to be back in just a moment, talking more with Kara and Avery. Thanks for tuning in to Next Steps for Seniors, Conversations on Aging. Hi, I'm Wendy Jones, host of Next Steps for Seniors, Conversations on Aging podcast. Did you know that over 25 million Americans experience bladder leaks? Incontinence can happen to anyone at any time. And when it does, incontinence products are a necessity. But it can cost hundreds of dollars per month to purchase these products, which is why we're partnering with Airflow Urology to help you. Airflow Urology provides medical-grade incontinence care essentials like adult briefs, male guards, catheters, and more for free through your insurance. With Airflow, your favorite bladder control supplies are sent right to your doorstep with discreet monthly deliveries. Customers have reported close to $200 a month in savings with Airflow Urology, and over 2 million people have trusted Airflow. You can verify your insurance benefits by going on and filling out a quick 2-minute form. Check your eligibility. Visit airflowurology.com. That's AEROFLOW urology.com. Welcome back to Next Steps for Seniors, Conversations on Aging. Again, we're here today with Kara Desmond, who is the founder of Utterly Uncluttered. Say that real fast 3 times. And Avery Abraham from Pink Zebra Moving. Decluttering for an organized. I mean, we really want to be organized. We want this process to be easy, efficient, and not stressful and chaotic. I mean, it can be so overwhelming. And we were just talking on break because what's the biggest thing you run into? People wanting to save everything.
Yes, everything. We collect items over the course of our life because they feel important to us. And making decisions years later on what to keep and what to get rid of can be extremely emotional. And like you were saying, Wendy, people want to keep things. They want the things that are precious to them to go to somebody that they love and care about because it's important to them. And they want it to live on with someone that they know.
But choose your battles, right?
Right.
You can't. Everything can't go. Exactly.
Everything can't go because if it's living in your basement and you can't transfer everything to somebody else's basement, right? It's so distinguishing between what's truly important versus what's maybe only important just because you have it and it's a useful item doesn't necessarily mean it's something that needs to be passed on to somebody you know. Mm-hmm. There could be somebody in need that it could go to. So really thinking through the items that you're looking at and trying to make decisions on of, is this my memory, somebody else's memory? Is this a family memory? Or is this just something that I need to decide to part with because it has value. I spent money on it, but there's no immediate need for myself or anybody that I know that needs it right now.
Right.
And somebody else could use it.
Yeah. And if everything's important, then nothing's really important, right? You're going to have to make some decisions, and being emotionally ready to do this process is very important, right? You have to be emotionally ready to engage with a declutter, organizer, and mover for sure.
Well, let me ask you this, Avery. How many items do you think you've moved over the course of time that didn't need to go?
A lot. I mean, frequently on a regular basis, it's half of a move is, things that were buried in the basement for 10 years and they were untouched, and they end up, it costs money, because on moves,
time is money.
Time is money, right? And you end up paying for that in some capacity, right? So yeah, we've moved a lot of people's junk, and we're okay with it because frankly we get paid for it. But when you want to do something as efficiently and effectively as possible, right? It's very good to go through these things ahead of time.
Right. So what I like the most is that you work together, because we call Kara in, and Kara comes in and does all of the decluttering, right? I mean, just really working through what they want to keep, what they want to give. And you walk them through the process. You're holding their hand through this.
Yes. And we like to do it with compassion and empathy because, of course, the stuff is important to us, right? But we try to be sensitive in nature about how we approach that, because it doesn't matter if we see value in it. It's really about what the client wants and what they see value in. Primarily, a lot of times when we get calls for seniors, we are getting calls from their kids, their loved ones that know that they need help. Either they don't live nearby and they can't help directly, or they just know that it's more than they can handle. So we always like to say, if your loved one needs help, to talk to them first and make sure that they are open to accepting that help.
And then
call Avery in.
And then we
his
move into
team.
Avery, and then
Yes.
you set the date in advance. They know you're going to be there. They're not like, where's my moving company? Because that's happened.
Oh yeah, that happens.
You step in
lot.
and save the day a lot. So you need what are you looking for in a moving company? You need someone trustworthy. We know that first.
Yes. Trustworthy, reputable. You want to make sure that they're insured. Right, there's a lot of bad actors, and if you look online, I mean, there are frankly horror stories of people's moves going wrong, people picking up their stuff, driving away, and you don't see your truck full of things. And I've heard some very crazy stories, and again, it's really important that you have folks that you can trust. And you hire movers because you want that to be a stress-free experience. It's naturally stressful. You want to hire someone who's going to alleviate that as much as possible.
Well, and also the product isn't damaged when it gets there.
Bingo.
I mean, I've heard so many stories of it, flipping around in the truck. You've got scrapes and very expensive stuff that breaks.
Yes, which is a great question to ask whenever you're getting estimates for moving. Ask them about their damage policy. That's super, super important. There's a couple great questions. Ask about hidden fees. Ask about damage policy.
So what's a good answer for that?
So they need to have one, right? If they say, "Oh, we won't damage anything," they are
run the other way.
Yes, which is best practice to not damage things, right? But moving stuff is hard. There are tight corners. There are delicate pieces of furniture. Accidents do happen with things we're moving, right? We've definitely damaged stuff, but finding a company that will make things right, if they have a standard policy, have additional protection that they can offer, that's something that we do. You can get additional protection on high value items for you, and it gives a peace of mind that your things that are important to you are being moved safely by folks who you can trust.
How many people pack themselves, and how many people do you help pack? I'm just curious because both of you kind of do packing.
Sure. I mean, I can't speak to how many people pack themselves. I know that
50%?
Probably. I think a lot of people pack themselves.
Okay.
I really do. I think the difference between hiring professionals to do it is that we're doing it in a way that makes sense. And it's a little bit more thought out and experienced and done with care, and things are packed properly and labeled where they need to go, and it's a little bit more efficient.
And packing takes time.
It takes time,
right? People we regularly see, people think they'll get it done. Oh, I'll pack everything up in a day or two, but it will take an individual weeks to get everything packed up. So,
let alone just knowing the materials that they need.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I mean, buying boxes aren't even cheap. So.
Right. So, and then color coding it, which I've had. I've seen people like, oh, the blue goes in this room and the yellow goes in. I'm like, gall, that's a pretty detailed person. I'm lucky if I get a sticky note on there that says where it goes.
Yeah. And kind of from our angle, because we, actually move people's stuff, we see most people probably pack themselves, maybe 25% we end up packing. And it's for folks who really value their time or really value their things and want to make sure it's done professionally.
You know, if somebody is packing themselves, a tip that I like to give is to always create an open first box. So what that really is a box full of things that are the last items to get packed and the first items that need to be opened at the new house. So think things like toilet paper, paper towel, dish soap, cleaning supplies, basic cleaning supplies to clean countertops and, wipe the floor up. Really stuff like that they're going to need immediately. They want to know garbage bags. They want to know exactly where that is. So, whether that's driving that over in your front seat and knowing exactly where it is, but, labeling it really bold and big, that's a really good tip.
What other tips do we have? That's a great idea.
I also like color coding boxes. I think that it's a great strategy. We do that sometimes where if it's a multi-room home that we're packing up, we will color code it and label it so each room has a different color. Makes it easier on the movers. Yeah,
especially when you're downsizing, labeling not what room something's currently in, but what room it's going to. Right, if you have 3 bedrooms, but you're now only going to have 1 bedroom, right? A lot of those things might go to storage, might go to storage unit, might be something different, but labeling not for where they currently are, but where they're going to is very helpful.
Yes.
Excellent. If you can share your information, if anyone's interested in the Utterly Uncluttered, Kara, share your information on how they can get a hold of you.
Sure. You can fill out the form on our website, www.utterlyuncluttered.com. You can also give us a call at 248-218-0088.
Okay, and what about our friend Avery, who has to look at his card to see what his phone number is?
Yes, I forgot our phone number.
You don't call yourself often, I know.
No, but give us a Google. You can find us at pinkzebramoving.com. And our phone number is 248-232-3282. And you can reach us. You can find us on Instagram. We like to post some fun content. You might see our mascot, Zeke the Zebra, and see some of our pink trucks.
I was just going to say, you've got to tell them about your truck, please.
Yes. Well, if you've seen one of our trucks on the road, you can't miss it. They are pink with stripes, and we really like to pop out, just kind of say, like, hey, we are family friendly. We care about you, and we care about how your move is done. So our guys wear pink uniforms. Our trucks are pink. And if you'd like to see a zebra mascot at your move, we can certainly make that happen.
Oh, my gosh. That would be so fun for kids.
Oh, it is awesome for kids. Kids absolutely love it.
They make moving fun.
Bingo.
I love it. Love the shirt. Love the whole idea. And we all need a Kara. Like I could take you home with me literally and be like, help me. Because, you care about everything. The biggest challenge, I believe, as we age is getting rid of momentum. Like you love these things, these memories that you had with your family and your home and your backyard. Oh, I need that little plant or whatever, right? I mean, it's crazy the things we want to keep.
Yeah.
So thank you for what you do and making life easier for them. I love it. I'm bringing you home. Okay. You're listening to Next Steps for Seniors. Do you each have a website and a Facebook page also?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you can just search Utterly Uncluttered on Facebook and on Instagram.
Bingo. Yeah. Look up Pink Zebra Moving.
And also you can subscribe, and share. This radio program is actually going on national podcast on your favorite podcast platform. So be sure to do that to anyone who's struggling with making a decision on moving. You're listening to Next Steps for Seniors, conversations on aging, where we walk you through the next steps of life. And guess what? These next steps can be the best steps. So let's embrace it. Let's not be fearful of it. And knowledge is power. Thank you for tuning in. Have a blessed day.